Alright, hey you guys, Robert Arrington here with Fresh Fish for Dinner. If you're like me and you were a kid and you caught a fish, that's a little mangrove snapper. You see that? That's a gray snapper. So if you guys just caught a fish and you want to eat it, here's the lowdown. Got your fork, you just want to scale it. Start right here along the top of the fins. There you go. Make sure you get all those scales off, and this fork works really, really good for that. Now, I'm gonna give you a little hint. Don't scale your fish inside the house because your mom or your wife or your girlfriend might kill you. You will get scales everywhere. So do it outside, maybe on top of a cooler or a bucket. There you go. Now, just over. Scales are not harmful, they're not poisonous, they won't hurt you. They just, you know, they're like bones, you don't like them. So now the next thing we're gonna do is, I wanna cut it at a little angle right up there. Okay, good. Take that, throw that over there. Make sure we get all these guts out. Now, you don't have to do this, but I can come in here and just gently take my knife and just cut right along those bones, right along the top fins. Just like that. Once you cut there, those will come right out. Same thing down here. Take your knife, hold on to that. Alright, so I've got my little mangrove snapper here. All I did, I went right behind his pectoral fins, I cut in, broke the backbone, flipped him over, cut in right behind the little fin there, cut in, broke the backbone, pulled the head off, cut down through his belly, took all of his guts out, turned him over, and I gently cut down right along his backbone, next to the fins. Turn them over, did the same thing, pulled the top dorsal fins out. I did the same exact thing on the bottom, pulled the anal fins out. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a couple little cuts in this side of the fish. Not deep, just scoring it. Just like that. Now, this exact recipe is gonna work on a bluegill, a perch, a snapper, a sheep's head, any small fish. And you're gonna just lightly season it. I like to season my skin a little heavier than if I were seasoning just regular fish. Now I'm going to put a little fresh cracked pepper on it. Good. Same thing on this side. A little more Old Bay. Good. Now that we've got our fish headless, taking the top fins, bottom fins, guts out, he's ready to go. All I'm going to do is just roll him in flour. I'm trying to get flour all around this fish. You don't have to. Hey, if you're on a gluten-free diet, absolutely do not need to use the flour. I grew up breading my fish like this, and I've acquired a taste for it. And you can do it with or without the flour. Make sure if you are breading it to bread that tail nice, and that'll cause it to get a little bit more crispy. And if you want to flour it and you're on a gluten-free diet, use gluten-free flour. Ta-da! Now let's get our oil ready. On my dial, I don't want it too hot. I want it at about a 6.5, 7. You want it hot enough to make it nice and crispy when you put your fish in. So I'm just using pure vegetable oil. Just about that much. You're not deep frying it, you're pan frying it. Okay, so I'm using brand new oil. I want to season that oil, so I'm just going to take a few garlic cloves, just like that. And all I'm going to do is just smash them. When you smash your garlic cloves like this, what happens is you release a lot of that oil. You release a lot of that oil, a lot of that flavor, a lot of the goodness that's within that garlic clove. And then I'm going to put it in this oil. And you just let that cook around. The whole reason I'm putting the garlic in the oil is just to give that oil some life. Typically, I like to cook with oil 2 or 3 times. It seasons and flavors that oil. So for new oil like we're using now, I want to put that garlic in there. Sometimes I'll throw bacon in there. Anything just to give that oil some life. So when I put that fish in there, the essence of the garlic will just come to life and really bring out the flavors of that fish. Fresh fish for dinner, baby. Alright, so when you're cooking your fish, you want to make sure that the fish is cooked all the way through. That's why I made the little slits in the side. As this fish cooks, that tail's going to get crispy, and I'll tell you what, I love eating the tail. You can see all the garlic is nice and brown. All the flavor just coming to life. I like to cook each side for about 2.5 to 3 minutes until it's golden brown, then I'll flip it over. You know, the more you cook fish, you're going to learn, and you're going to develop an eye for it. So right now, I'm not timing this, I'm just looking at it. And I'll take my little spatula and I'll sort of flip it up and look at it, and I'll know. So the more you do this, the more familiar you'll get with it, and it'll become easier and easier. And one thing too, you guys, when you're cooking fresh fish, it's not going to stink up your house. If you're cooking old rotten fish, you're going to stink up the house. But with fresh fish, it's just like cooking anything else. That's why I eat fresh fish for dinner. And so should you. Because this was organic before organic was cool. Alright, so our fish is about done. I got a little plate with just a little piece of paper towel here. And all we gotta do. And there you go. Look how nice that looks. Look how nice that white flaky meat is. And check this tail out. Tail's awesome. So crispy and good. Okay. Once it's drained a little bit of the oil off, all you gotta do is come in here, just like this, and all your meat will just peel right off. It's very, very easy. And this is with a very, very small snapper. The larger the fish, the larger the flakes of meat that will come off. You see how nice and crispy all that skin is? Nice and seasoned. And as you clean your fish, it should still be nice and moist. Gotta love that. And then you can get all the little pieces of meat right off the top of the backbone. Feel like you're on the Flintstones. And then you can use it as a comb. And when you're eating whole fish like this, it's all about getting your fingers dirty and getting in there and having a good time. You just caught a fish. You cleaned it. You cooked it. Enjoy it. See the way we put all the seasoning on that skin? It got crispy and it just has so much flavor. And then you've got all the white meat. It is really, really good. And when you see a little bone like that, just put it off to the side. Be careful when you're eating it. If you get a bone in your mouth, just pull it out.
You better not be eating that whole fish.
We were actually out catching crabs.
Hopefully we got them.
While I was catching bait to put back in the crab traps, we caught this snapper. And I was like, hey, let's go back and show everybody how to just cook a little whole snapper. And that's where this whole video came from. So, I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to let Sarah and her friend from Wisconsin, Courtney, try a little bit of it. And if you guys have any questions, hit me up. Go to Facebook, Twitter, whatever. This is all about fresh fish for dinner. We also have deer meat for dinner. So if you guys like wild game, go on over there, like us, follow us. It's all about enjoying wildlife, whether you're prepping for the end of the world or whether you're just enjoying a day in the outdoors. I'm Robert Arrington. Sarah Pomeranian's behind the camera. Courtney's over on the air mattress because she's like living in our living room right now. And we're enjoying fresh fish.
Okay, Court, come in.
Who needs a fork?
Oh, it's good. It's got a different taste to it.
It's amazing.
We've never had snapper before.
No. Good old Wisconsin girls. The breading is ridiculous. The crunch is awesome.
And we have 3 dogs who love to beg. But just remember that fish is not recommended for dogs just because of all the bones. So if your dogs do beg, just don't give them any fish. It's not good for dogs. But it is good for humans.
Little bone, pull it right out.
I hope you're full because we're gonna finish this off.
That's all you gotta do.
Ooh, it's good.
Do you guys realize that they never touched the tartar sauce? They just like wailed on the fish there. It's now gone.
We didn't even touch a fork.
Hey, and I tell you guys what, if you like this video or any of our other videos, just subscribe to the channel. It's that easy because we'll show you how to catch blue crabs, eat blue crabs, clean just about every fish on the market. This is fresh fish for dinner. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and I tell you what, folks, I'm Robert Arrington, Sarah's behind the camera, and we are out.